What's happening, boys and girls? I am the Anthro Metal, and welcome back to Today in Gaming for the week of August the 21st, I think was Monday. Let's see, today is the 25th, so 4th, 3rd, yeah, 21st, I think. I might be wrong on that. Anywho, welcome back, y'all. I hope you like it here. Stay around for a while. So we got a little bit of news to run through, just everything from last week. Gamescom was last weekend. It's actually also going on this week, so we still got a lot of other stuff to mess with. Sorry, I hit something over there on my mic stand. And so we're still getting news that's coming out that's come out of that so far. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. As always, if you have any questions about these stories, I will post the links down below. So go ahead and check those out. And yeah, so first things first is today actually, and this video is coming out a little late. I'm sorry. There's a hurricane that's in Texas right now, or heading towards the coast, and I live in San Antonio, which is not necessarily in the path, but we're expecting to get a lot of flooding. So a lot of stuff that's been going on this week. Anyways, so announced this week, Secret of Mana Remastered is coming out for the PS4, the Vita, and Steam. It is coming to us on the 15th of February of next year. That's awesome. I never really got to play Secret of Mana back when it first came out. So hopefully I can end up picking something up, or maybe just picking it up on Steam to finally get through it, because it's I know a lot of people that's a really beloved game. So hopefully we get to see that here soon. And it has a pretty quick release date too. We're not too far out from that. That's about, I mean, it's what, 8 months away. So it's pretty exciting to see that this quickly. Some kind of funky news that no one really expected, no one really asked for. Final Fantasy 15 is one of those games that is starting to cross over into like everything. And with Ubisoft's penchant for crossing things over, like Mario X Rabbids or whatever it's called. In case you weren't aware, Forza 7 or no, Forza Horizon 3 got the regalia from Final Fantasy 15 imported into it. So I mentioned Ubisoft Final Fantasy 15. That's because there is an Assassin's Creed and Final Fantasy 15 crossover where you will get like Assassin's Creed kind of moves and other kind of abilities and stuff like that in Final Fantasy 15, as well as Assassin's outfits. I think it's called like Assassin's Fest or something like that. That's going on in game. And it's free DLC, so I mean, I'll check it out. It's so weird. It just all of a sudden this news popped up. People are like, "Why?" But cool, I guess. I mean, maybe we'll see a lot more of this in the future. I did read an article where there's an interview with the director. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, of Final Fantasy 15, and he said, we could do a sequel like Final Fantasy 15 2, like they did with Final Fantasy 13, but there would be such a big delay in kind of just dead air and dead space between games. So they would much rather do these little updates to continue supporting the title to keep people's interest up, which is awesome, because I love when I see things like that instead of just like boom big game, boom big game. We're more into the area of let's keep a title supported for a long time and keep throwing out awesome updates. I mean, freaking Blizzard figured that one out ages ago with WoW and all the other stuff that they put out. Moving on, another huge title that is consistently getting updates. Speaking of what we just talked about, GTA Online is getting another massive update. This time, this one's called Smuggler's Run, and it does exactly what it sounds like. You are tasked with actually smuggling the goods out. So they have done some of these kind of missions in the past where you've gone and had to do like airdrops to people, but now you will actually have like a hangar with customizable aircraft that you can drop packages into weird situations. They are continuing to support this game ridiculously. I know that they have said, Rockstar has said in the past that GTA Online is beyond GTA 5, but because it's still packaged with it at the moment, GTA 5 is still one of the most played games, most bought games, which is insane. It still tops the top 10 of most purchased and played games after 4 years of it being out. Keep in mind, this game came out in September of 2013. That is almost 4 years ago to the day. That is incredible longevity. And I mean, Rockstar is just rolling cash at this point with it. So, unfortunately, we probably won't ever get to see GTA 5 single player content again, like DLC or anything. But with the trade off of all the hours and the stuff that people have put in with GTA Online, the stuff that's coming out of it, it's a pretty fair trade-off. I mean, I know not a lot of people like the online aspect, so let me know your thoughts about it below. Like, if you do play online, how much you feel about it. If you don't play online or anything, I need to dive back into it. Honestly, I haven't played a lot of it in a long time. So, some. So I'm gonna move into kind of a section of Xbox news here, going on for a little bit. First thing is that the September games with gold were announced. These are the free games that you get for having a gold, an Xbox Live Gold subscription, which is just the monthly subscription. So, the games with gold are Battlefield 3, Forza 5, Oxenfree, and Hydro Thunder Hurricane. Those are all pretty great games. I never played Hydro Thunder Hurricane. I played the original Hydro Thunder. I played the hell out of that game and got all the unlocks and all the secrets and all that stuff. So I'm really excited to get back into that, playing it again, because you don't have a lot of boat racing games out there that are just over the top, actiony, fun games. Oxenfree is one of the top indie titles over the last couple of years, I believe, is when it came out, and has like a lot of different endings and stuff like that. A lot of different dialogue choices and stuff like that. I've been wanting to buy it for a while, but I never could. Already have Forza 5, so that one's a wash. Already have Battlefield 3, because that's a wash. But still, those are two marquee titles, AAA titles, if you will, that are there. So super excited to see that. Hopefully that'll drive the population back up on Battlefield 3, and we'll get to dive back in there, and I'll get to get some achievements in there again. So, speaking of all this stuff, like I said with the Xbox segment, so during Gamescom this week, I'm going to backtrack a little bit, then kind of come forward. I'm going to Tarantino this. So, during the Xbox press conference on Sunday, it was more like kind of like a round table they had. They showed off a bunch of just trailers we already saw. They did some kind of announcements about there's a new Minecraft Xbox One X S, as in small, slim, whatever you want to call it. Minecraft style one that looks really cool, really dope. They also unveiled the Xbox One X Project Scorpio edition, which is a special edition. It's all patterned a different way and has like this cool gray gradient on it. It says Project Scorpio on it and the controller. They announced that pre-orders went live on Sunday, and it promptly sold out within as little as like 25 minutes in some retailers. And there's been sporadically they come up with a few of them, and then they immediately get sold out. So it's kind of crazy to see this. And this was only for a special edition. The regular Xbox One X's, the standard ones, aren't even live yet. So these are still the same price, but it's completely different. It's just a different kind of styling than the other one will be. It's kind of like the Xbox One Day One edition that came out back in 2013. Now, wow. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy to see that. So, moving forward with that, Digital Foundry, which is the guys that do super deep tech dives into technology. They do awesome stuff. A lot of stuff can be way over everyone's head, way over. It's really for those tech junkies that like to get into the nitty gritty, the hardware specs, the software specs, seeing everything, all talking about the graphical fidelity of stuff. So they've been reviewing the Xbox One X enhanced titles. So these are things like the other AAA titles that have come out, or other smaller titles that have come out that are getting upgrades to bring up the graphical fidelity of their games and their gameplay to what the Xbox One X can do. So titles like this are like Titanfall 2, of course Gears of War 4, Forza 7, F1 2017, and just Super Lucky's Tale, a bunch of different games, a lot of exclusives, other ones not so much exclusives and stuff like that coming out. And they said they are pretty impressed with it. Most of the titles run at a native 4K resolution instead of being upscaled. They said there are some that are being upscaled, of course, but that it's not nearly as... It's going to be very impressive when that comes out, that they're kind of really excited about it, and which is really cool to see. When guys with his reputation as stout as Digital Foundry kind of gives you a thumbs up on something, that does say a lot. So I'm excited to see it. Of course, I don't have a pre-order or anything yet, but just seeing how this is going to push consoles forward, along with the competition with the PS4 Pro, it will push forward these. I think we're going to stick with this iterative cycle. Maybe, I don't know. We really don't know what we're going to see yet. I know some analysts are predicting that a PS5 is going to be announced as early as next year, or in 2019. So just be on the lookout for a lot of that stuff like that. Of course, we'll see all this here in a little bit. That's going to kind of do it for the Xbox segment of this, so I'm sorry if you don't really care about it. But I just had to cover that because that was kind of the big news that's been kind of going on through Gamescom. Uh, so we got a few other things here. Here's your Overwatch news segment. There was a new animated short that was published. This one is called Rise and Shine. It has to do with everybody's favorite character, Mei, who is the kind of plucky Chinese scientist, research scientist who gets stranded in Antarctica and can freeze people, ice wall, and stuff like that. Holy crap, it is. Just spoiler, it's sad. So just be prepped for get some tissues nearby or something like that. Hug your dog or your friends, and it's great. Blizzard has to just straight up make an Overwatch like, I don't know, animated series, an anime itself to complement all this, because their animation department has always been just on top of its game. Just they've always been at the forefront of everything. Speaking of Overwatch, of course, they did announce a new map coming out, a new escort map called Junkertown, which it's exactly like the name sounds. It is going to be based on, it was Junkrat's and Roadhog's former home. Now, they also released kind of a short, if you will. It wasn't done in their regular animation style. It was actually done using the assets from in-game. So kind of like Source Engine kind of deal, but it was also done very well. It shows more the relationship between Roadhog and Junkrat, and it's just silly, fun, awesome. It's really great. There's like just a bunch of references all throughout it. It's only a few minutes long too, so I'll just watch it and tell me what you think about it. So moving on, remember that thing about Biomutant we talked about last week? So Biomutant is this new game coming out from THQ Nordic, so the makers of Just Cause series and stuff like that. This is an open world 3D action platformer game, as so they've said, and apparently you're going to be able to like adjust your DNA on the fly. So it sounds a lot I can't remember how it sounds a lot like kind of like Ratchet and Clank style, or Jack and Daxter style. Did I say that right? Yeah. And so I'm excited to see it, and excited how this is going to turn out and play and everything. But it's fine. But it's been officially announced. It kind of leaked last week. That's what all the leaks were. They did come out and finally officially announce it and say, yeah, this is it. Here it is. They came out with a trailer and everything. It's pretty cool. We also saw a announcement for Age of Empires 4. We haven't had one in a while, so this is exciting to see this come out finally. Finally, something to compete with Civ again. One of the big unexpected announcements that came out of the Xbox conference, roundtable, whatever you want to call it, from Gamescom, Jurassic World Evolution. It's a park sim that made from the guys that made Planet Coaster. You get to build Jurassic World or whatever it is and maintain it. Everybody knows what you're gonna do. You're gonna build it up. You're gonna open it. Then you're gonna take down the wall for the T-Rex and let it go wreak havoc, like it should have happened in the movie. But you get to finally do this stuff, and this is really cool. I haven't played a park sim or anything like that in ages, so I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to play it and try it out because it looks dope. It looks a lot of fun. So last but not least, I mentioned earlier, Hurricane Harvey is currently bearing down on Texas right now, so if y'all don't hear from me for a couple days, that's because I'm probably without power or something like that. We don't expect to have too much here in San Antonio, but there is going to be quite a lot of wind, rain, and probably flooding. So I think they said, the last thing I looked at was like 8 to 10 inches of rain here. That's far cry from everything else, because like down in Corpus Christi and Galveston, they're expecting something where in the neighborhood of like 36, 40 inches of rain and crap like that. So that's insane. Just pray for everybody down there. I hope and just all the best wishes if you're down there, please be safe. This stuff is no joke, y'all. So, if bad weather comes your way, take the necessary precautions. That's just my PSA for the day. All right, and last thing I want to talk about, in case you haven't heard about it, so H3H3 Productions is run by Etha and Ela Klein. They've been a popular YouTube couple and channel for years now. And if you follow them, then you know about the lawsuit that they've been going through. So another YouTuber had sued them because they were doing reaction videos and they were real critical of his content. This is just something that they always did. It's not, and making a lot of critical commentary. Of course, they're just making fun of him, making jokes and stuff like that. He didn't like that, so he sued them. He said this was copyright infringement. This is not fair use. You're doing this. Well, that lawsuit is over. The clients won, which is a fantastic thing because that has so many implications of fair use. Being able to use other people's work and use your own content on top of it, being able to create something else. That's what allows news stations to use clips that are derived from somewhere else. That it allows streamers to actually use video game footage. That's what fair use is. And if this were to have swung the other way, the implications involved will be catastrophic. Like there's just stuff that could go one way or the other. So it's not this. There was notes in the disposition from the judge. I believe that's what it's called. It may not be what it's called, but there were notes in the decision. I think is what it's called, the judgment, that it does not take place for all reaction videos. So they do leave that open for further commentary on it. But it does effectively. It's a landmark case in that it will be referred to for years going forward for other similar cases, and it will dissuade people from just being like, I don't like what so and so said about me, I'm going to sue you instead. So hopefully it puts a stop to those kind of frivolous lawsuits. I know that Jimquisition was also involved in a lawsuit like that with a developer that didn't like a review of a honestly pretty terrible game. So these are awesome wins, y'all. This is a lot bigger than any of us. So it's a win for creators everywhere. If you're a creator, awesome. And even if you're just a viewer, it's a win for you as well. So that's going to do it for today. That kind of covers the breaking my mind here of everything that happened over the last week or so. And if you liked everything here, or if I said something you didn't know about, let me know. Hit the like button and drop a comment down below on what it was. If you already knew everything, tell me that I'm a dork or whatever. Hit the dislike button and tell me about it. I like criticism. I am all open to it. If you want to use this video and be like all pointing fun at me and be like, look at this douche, do it. I don't care. That's what you can do with fair use. And outside of that, if you're new here, why don't you hit the subscribe button, become a metalhead, and be part of the Metal Militia. That's all for me. I'm the Anthro Metal. I love ya, and I will see you next week.